Askreddit Asks, what's the worst defense you've seen someone make in a court?
We had a guy in court when I worked in CPS who beat his kid with a belt. In court, he asked the judge if he could take off his belt and demonstrate how hard he hit his kid by using his jacket on the back of a chair. The judge was like, "Whatevs. Go for it." I was expecting him to half-ass it, but the guy wailed on the chair until the bailiff told him, "That's enough." The entire courtroom was like, "Holy shit, dude." And that's how I got quite possibly the easiest child removal to date. Not that I had any thought I'd lose the case. The pictures were horrific and that kid will have scars from that beating for life. Closing parenthesis. Do you gave any idea what he was trying to demonstrate? Like, look, it wasn't so bad, or that's how everyone does it?
It's like the judge knew that he was going to do something that was both amusing and would make his decision easier.
I took a guy to small claims court. His defense was, I didn't have the product, so I couldn't ship it to him. Obviously. The judge was like, "But you took his money?" The guy, "Yay. So I could buy the product and ship it to him." Judge, "Did you do that?" Guy, "Not yet." Judge, "Do you have his money?" Guy, "No. I had an emergency and had to spend it. That was that. I won. Edit. Someone gave me gold? Exclamation mark. Thanks. This was a very stressful period of my life. I saw this go down while waiting for my traffic ticket. Judge, so, you were seen pulling a stop sign out of the ground and throwing it in the river. Accused, yes, sir. J, were you drunk? A, no, sir. J, the ticket says you were intoxicated. A, no, sir. J, okay. Let's say I believe you. I will throw out this drunken disorderly charge. A, thank you, sir. J, but, I will have to charge you with the destruction of government property and endangering the public. That comes with at least a year in jail. So I'll ask one more time. Were you drunk? A, yes, sir. Very drunk, sir.
My sister told the judge that the light wasn't that red. Then he said he was going to suspend her license and she said, "But my dad already took it away."
My mom actually did the same thing years ago. She got caught on camera making a right turn on red without stopping fully. The video and screenshot showed on that day as the sun was setting. The red light did look kinda orange due to the lighting. She did end up getting her fine reduced in court. Not because of the color of the light, but because she was originally fined for running a red light, which carried a more severe fine than turning right on red without fully stopping.
Daddy took her T-Bird away. I defended a guy on a DUI that jumped into the backseat after he got pulled over and claimed someone else was driving. He was the only one in the car.
He was here a second ago. Me drive? Oh hell no, I'm fucked up.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Bro, I'm telling you, he ran so fast after you pulled over. Quote exclamation mark.
Aggravated criminal sodomy. The defense attorney said the rape only lasted for a minute. Edit. During closing argument to the jury.
I only raped him a little. Leave me alone.
Ah yes. The Brock the Rapist Turner defense.
Oh, look at Mr. Marathon over there.
I never touched my daughters. I never hurt my daughters. Never would I sexually abuse my daughters. Except that one time at the cabin, the guy became an instant meme in our country, language.
Reminds me of a recent case here in Edmonton. Man convicted to 23 years for sexually assaulting his daughters and trying to sell one, both online for sex. Said he agreed he was guilty in the eyes of the law, but felt he did nothing wrong since he was married to the girl, also his daughter, and the Bible says it's allowed between a man and his wife. The judge let the man talk for 3 whole hours.
It says here you were drinking and driving. Judge, no sir. I drank then I drove, a guilty guy.
At least he's honest.
Reminds me of the Volkswagen sign and drive commercial. People are crashing through the cones while signing a document.
A domestic abuse case. The husband was the accused. The couple was in their late 70s or early 80s. When asked if he did indeed abuse his wife, the husband started complaining that some 40 years ago the wife pretended to be ill and he had to do the laundry all by himself. As if he expected the judge to just go, "Oh okay. I guess that's cool then."
You see, the real victim of everything is me. That's why I need to beat up the bitch every single day and it's so hard. Dot.
A lot of abusers have a victim mentality. If she would just behave and do what I want, I wouldn't have to beat her. Dot.
I was in traffic court and the first guy to go before the judge got pulled over doing some crazy speed. Like 140 miles per hour. The judge essentially told the guy to say he wouldn't ever do it again and that it was a mistake. And in return, the judge would drop the ticket fee and the points on his record. The guy countered with, "Well, I drive that fast all the time. So I'm really good at it. And I don't think it was dangerous at all because of how good of a driver I am." Guy could have walked out totally free. But instead got a $2,500 FNE and 2 points on his record.
I watched a friend try a DWI case. Her client testified that she wasn't drunk while driving, and therefore not guilty, because she was actually high on meth at the time. My friend put her head down and started hitting her head against the desk. GUUUILLLLTTTTYYYYYY.
Why the hell did she put her client on the stand in a DUI trial?
Your Honor, I wasn't stealing from that store. I had a gun out. So I was robbing it. All different. Dot.
Of course his DNA, semen, was in the alley behind his apartment, where a sexual assault took place. Where else would you expect to find your DNA except where you lived? Dot.
What, am I gonna jerk off in my own home? Are you some sort of pervert? Of course I'd do that outside.
I jerk off in that alley all the time. Which is lewd conduct and indecent exposure, and I assume a much lesser violation than sexual assault. Dot.
Friend of mine once got a ticket for leaving her car standing in the marked-off no parking zone in front of a grocery store. Which she thought was outrageous because she was just running in to get a pack of smokes. Then she saw how much the ticket was for. Something like $120. Which she thought was just ridiculous because damn it, she was just running in for a pack of smokes. I mean, come on, how is that worth $120? So her plan was to go to court and contest the ticket and point out to the judge how ridiculous that was and offer to compromise at like maybe $40 because for Pete's sake, she was just running in for a pack of smokes, and let's be reasonable here. Yes, her plan was to haggle with the judge over how much the ticket should be worth. So she goes to court and sits there most of the day waiting for her case to be called. And eventually she gets bored and goes outside to grab a smoke and hang out. And while she's out there, her case is called. She missed the whole thing. Didn't even get to try the whole, come on, $120? For that, come on, I'll give you $40, and even that's highway robbery defense on the judge and got hit for the full value of the ticket plus court costs.
I was a juror for a case against a woman that was charged with selling a stolen gun to a pawnbroker and possession of a gun by a convicted felon. She took the stand and admitted to finding the gun at a friend's house and taking it to the pawnbroker. Her attorney's entire closing argument was that the state failed to prove that it was a gun and the charges should be dropped. Never mind the fact that she admitted to it being a gun. The guy that owned the gun said it was his gun and we had it right there in front of us. The defense said it was not a gun because the state had not fired it to prove it was a gun. And of course, as soon as we get back to the room to deliberate, one of the other jurors said he was not convinced it was a real gun. That was a really long day. Edit. Wow, this is by far the most karma I've ever gotten on a comment. To those wondering, we had the gun in the jury room, but it was in a clear plastic box. We did have a bailiff come in at one point to take it out and pull the slide back. We were not allowed to handle it ourselves.
Ted Bundy jumping out of the courthouse window and running probably didn't do much to convince people he was innocent.
Best defense is a good offense. He was just trying to run it in for a touchdown on 4th down.
I'm innocent by the way, YEET.
They really shouldn't, but his antics crack me up. Completely insane, but so entertaining to watch.
I knew a guy who said that the police who responded to the domestic that he had perpetrated had no right to charge him with meth possession since the meth was so pure. No one could have seen it.
The Drax defense.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to support the channel, and above all, have an excellent day you incredible people.